Hi there, it's Bex from channel bexbugoutsurvivor, and it's a cold old day. I've got a little quilt liner on, but really want to talk about yesterday. I was out filming and it got very windy, raining and cold, all three a really bad mix, and I just wanted to be as warm as I can, as quick as I can, and holding camera equipment and things like that, my fingers soon froze. A dangerous situation to be in. So it's time to break open all the warm wear. Now it's not just things like this, like the quilted liners. I also like to mix the wool with synthetics. It's a really good thing to do. But when I was reading a forum the other day, it was a big argument over which is best, wool or synthetics. A very, very dangerous argument to be having on a forum. Both belong together. They can be used in conjunction with each other. More often than not, if I just have my 90 pack bag in this kind of weather, it's not too bad today. Yesterday was it went below zero, about 3. I think we're about 4 or 5 above, so a nice day today. But I will often conjoin a wool blanket with the pattern 90 sleeping bag, and I'll put it over me and zip myself in, and I'll just carry the extra weight. My wool blanket 1.6 kilos, and I think the actual pattern 90 bag is about 2.5, 2.6. I've got the small, so it's a little lighter, so it's not too bad. So in total, the wool blanket and the actual pattern 90 is probably all I need. And I took that combination out and it failed again for me because of the ground insulation. Last night it took about half an hour and I was feeling the cold off that ground, which is where I need to start addressing that. I've addressed it in several different manners and it's time for new equipment there. But we're talking about the wearables, wool and synthetics conjoined. Wool jumper with a synthetic quilt liner here, which has gone over, and down here Dutch Army wool trousers. And I'll show you what else is really, really nice. On my quilt liners here, again, same as the jacket part, these are the Parker liners. So what I'm demonstrating is mixing synthetics with wool has its own place. Now this here is called a great coat, Queen's Guards. Let me just show you the arm patch here. It's all wool, and it is my survival blanket. This is what comes in my sleeping bag with me now. I can have a wool blanket and it's more versatile. I can use a wool blanket to act as a rain shelter, like a tarp. I can wrap it around me, but most of the time it would be in my pack. In weather like this, I need it around me, I need it on me. So I personally have chosen the Queen's Guard greatcoat over a wool blanket. And again, it doesn't have to be one or the other, the choice is yours. Really long coat. So it does come all the way down here, covers up the legs. Queen's Guard buttons, I've kept them on, and I can get it right up around here. And also in my pocket I have a pair of gloves. I should have at least 2 pairs of gloves, I think, and some kind of hat, and I've gone with the warmest hat I possibly can. Now this coat, the hat, the gloves are from my rough sleeping kit. Not so much a bug out bag. It has the sleeping bag, the pad, the tarp, and this. Only 3 things to remember in survival: be as warm as you can, be as dry as you can, be as well fed as you can. Now you can use anything in your arsenal that's going to achieve them ends. Trench coats are often waterproof and they're certainly not wool. There'll be some sort of lighter material. This is nearly all wool, said to be the equivalent of 2 wool blankets. Now you'll see these coats outside Buckingham Palace on the Queen's Guards. You'll see them with a white belt and the busby. And you've got to stand in that position for a long time, all day. You've got to be as warm as you possibly can. And this really does fit the bill. It is quite heavy. I should imagine it's heavier than my wool blanket. But this fits on top of the Bergen, under the lid. I have my main sleep shelter in there. I have the insulation as well. I have the tarp. I have a few days rations and something to cook it with. Like I said, warm as you can, as dry as you can, as well fed as you can be, for as long as you can be. Anything more than that, I'm going to need my webbing, which has more bushcraft come survival aids in. I have had occasions in my life where I haven't always lived in a house and paid rent and mortgage, and luckily it was pre-October at the time, just for a few weeks, that's all. And I had an income, just not enough to pay a rent. You should be able to get them for under 100 quid. It sounds a lot, but remember, this is a survival aid in its own right, even without a sleeping bag. My pocket here are some survival aids. Just a pocket full will get me through the night. The sleeves come right down, cover all your hand there. Get them a size larger than you need to, and you're going to be good for some serious weather. Just started raining. Now this isn't going to be waterproof, but here's the great thing. It is going to insulate you even when wet. All wool does. It's going to be heavier. It'll absorb moisture like a sponge, but that moisture will still insulate you. And with a fire nearby as well, we're going to be good. Certainly below zero. I don't know how much. I haven't pushed this down that far. I've had it inside the pattern 90 with me. I unbutton it, wear it like a blanket, it goes over me. Inside the pattern 90, everything inside the bivvy. Boy, warm. I'm a cold sleeper. As soon as it gets to 3 degrees above, that's 3 degrees Celsius, I'm ready to break open the wool. And don't be going down the road of reading forums thinking, shall I go down the road of wool? Shall I go down the road of synthetics? I would urge you to use both. Just bite the bullet, carry the extra weight. Maybe you can shed weight somewhere else. That is the basic rules of survival. How you do it and what bits of kit you choose to achieve that aim is entirely down to you. Comes down nice and long here, almost like a blanket in its own right. The buttons, some people would swap them buttons out. They don't want the Queen's Guard buttons on. I like them. So this isn't just a prepper's coat, it's my everyday coat for winter. It can stay in my van, it hangs behind the door, ready to go. It also, when not in use, is on top of the Bergen. These are also in the bottom of the Bergen, my wool trousers, and I am a cold sleeper. I need the best money can buy, I really do. I have wool hats. This covers up the ears, and I might even swap this out for the Russian hat badge on. The mistake I made yesterday was taking the gloves off, and it only took a few minutes to get cold. Really ice cold, numb, couldn't feel what I was doing, and then an hour and a half to try and warm them up. Not worth it. I need better gloves, there's no two ways about it. And in the pocket is this here, which is my field kit, fire kit, my primary and secondary. So a primary fire kit is more for my bug out survival, and my secondary is a little bit more bushcrafty. So we're going to have a look at that and get ourselves a nice fire together. And we're right out of time to see that today, but that will be a separate episode. But I'm going to get that fire going right now and use it in conjunction with this. Until then, take care.